Hey guys, what's going on? We are here for week 7 of the Porsche GT3 Cup Series. This week we're at VIR, or Virginia International Raceway, for the track guide. Obviously we've been doing these for a season now, so I think we did VIR last season as well, but we thought we'd revisit it and kick back through it again and see if we can find you guys a bit more time. Hope your racing's been going well, and yeah, let's get into it. VIR in the Porsche GT3 Cup car. Let's go. Alright guys, so now we're going to break down the lap. So as you pass the start finish line, you want to start tracking out to the left hand side. You're looking for the 3 board right here. Oh, just pull past it, but you're looking for the 3 board just here. Okay, 6th gear, back to 2nd gear. Stay as close to the white line as possible as you're braking. Nice big brake pressure. Work through the gears. Don't just bash them down all in one go. Sort of space them out a little bit. So I usually go 6th, 5th, 4th, little brake, 3rd, little brake, 2nd. And then I want to turn in right here. You'll see there's like this weird little kink in the white line and a little bit of like extra asphalt that's been pushed out past the edge of the track, you could say. So that's where I turn the car at the corner in 2nd gear. And then as I turn the car at the corner, I want to get close to the apex just by the edge of the end of the curb. So about probably 3 to 4 feet from the edge of the curb, I want to clip it. And then the car's going to track a little bit wide. Now I want it to track a little bit wide so I can get the car to rotate back in the corner. Clip the apex here at the end of this 2nd curb. So it's kind of, in a way, it's a double apex, but the double apex is further around the corner than the actual corner starts and finishes, if that makes sense. So it's kind of like a weird sort of in-between apex. And from that point there, I carry the speed out of the corner, up to 3rd gear, up to 4th gear. I want to clip the curb on the left as I come into the corner. I want to line up with the 2nd house in the middle. I want to grab back to 3rd gear. Now, as I get to 3rd gear and I get to the edge of the curb, that's when I start to turn the car back at the corner. I use all the entry. I get nice and close, but I want to sort of apex at this point here. And I'm sort of in line with the red sort of farm off in the distance. From that point there, I let the car track out wide. I use all the edges of the curb. And then, now this is a bit unique. There's no entry markers here. So as I'm clearing the edge of the curb on the right hand side. Once I get about a car and a half past this point, which is about this point here, this is where I brake the car. So it's very much like straighten the car up, off the curb, and then brake. Third gear, back to second gear. I stay in line with the second Michelin sign until I get to this point here. There's nothing to signify that I'm at this point. It's just, this is how I view it, sort of thing. And it's kind of the way I look at it is, because as you get closer to the corner, you start to move away from where you were first initiating. So once I've gone from the second Michelin sign to the third Michelin sign, that's when I really start to turn the car at the corner. Second gear, I use all the curb and I set myself up and I sacrifice exit speed here. So I'm setting myself up to the left hand side to open up the next set of corners. So come off the curb here, turn the car in, short shift to third, let the car run wide. Now, I'm sort of dancing on the throttle at this point. I'm trying to feed it power, but at the same time, I'm not attacking it full 100%. Like, I'm sort of spacing it out. Once I get to the edge of the curb, I want to have lifted just before it, and then I want to turn the car in at the end of the curb. Now, once I turn the car in and I lift just before we get to the end of the curb, then once I get to this point here, like, so just say half a car length before you get to the start of the curb, and but you're angled more for the end of the curb, you should be able to pick the throttle up, full noise, in third gear, carry all the speed through, use a little bit of curb here, and then you'll straight line trajectory through all this, and you'll pick up all the speed, you'll shift up all the gears, and you want to get to 6th gear as you're coming through here. Come through here, you want to clip this curb here, and this one, and this one, and then roll, but you want to stay as close to the white line through the roll as possible. So I lift off the throttle, get the car to stay close to the white line and follow it, and then once I get to this tyre wall on the right hand side, this is where I brake and go 6th gear back to 4th, and then I want to turn the car in really early. So I want to turn the car in from this point here. I want to grab the curb on the inside and I want to use all the curb. The car's going to slide off the apex. We're going to end up right near the edge of the road on the right hand side. Use all that curb and run it down the hill up to 5th gear, and then start to brake at the 3, back to 4th, back to 3rd. Alright, once you get back to 3rd, you turn the car in at the last sign, and then I clip the apex right near the end, and you'll see the little, like, scissor lift there. I let the car start to track out in that trajectory. Back to 2nd gear. Once I get to about this point here, so I'm not quite at the edge of the curb, but I'm only about a foot away from the curb. Once I get to that point, I start to turn the car directly back at the corner. I'll clip the apex right on the center, let the car run right over the back of this curb here, use all the track limit, and then start to run it down the long back straight. Up through the gears, you'll get to 6th gear nice and easy. I start to set myself up on the right hand side as I'm coming over the crest, but it's not imperative, but I like to give myself that extra time to get the car nice and straight, so that when I apply the brakes, the car's going to brake in a nice straight line for me. As you come down the crest, you're looking for the 3 board, which will be right here. Once you get to that 3 board, which is right there, 6th gear, back to 2nd gear. So same again, don't smash down all the gears in one go, sort of gradually space it. And then the line you take is quite unique as well. So as you're coming down and you're braking at 3, I start to drift towards the left-hand side. And I sort of position myself like so. So I'm kind of like, I guess you could say I'm aiming for that pack of trees, and I'm probably aiming for the short one out of the 3 of them. As I come over the hill, 4th. Once I get to the end of the curb, I start to head towards the inside, back to 3rd, back to 2nd. Once I get to the tyre wall, I'm making sure I'm wrapping the car around the curb, and I'm sacrificing a little tiny bit of exit speed. just a tiny bit. I just want to land the car sort of at this angle here, and you'll see there's like a little flag marshal hut inside the trees, and that's where I'm sort of aiming for as I come down the hill. As I come down the hill, back up to third, get nice and close to the curb, let the car run to the edge of the road, up to fourth, turn in at the end of the curb on the right, 2 tyres over the curb. The car's going to bounce. Now I'm in fourth. You can brake early and stay in fourth. I give it a little bit more poke. I go back to third gear. I clip the car on the apex, and then I try and run the car out, but I don't go any more than sort of 3/4 track. So I end up at this point here. I find if I go any further, that curb invites me and grabs me, and then it bleeds time. So I try and use the track without overstepping the mark and then actually costing myself more time. So from this point here, clip the apex on the way through, let the car track right out to the edge of the road. And there you go, guys. That is your walkthrough lap in the Porsche Cup car at Virginia International Raceway. I hope this has helped you. Good luck for week 7 of your racing. Next week will be week 8, and we hope to see you then. Thanks, guys.